Hi and welcome back. Now that I'm kind of back on track and got my lighting kind of fixed, at least it's workable, I want to do a product review. And this time it is Faber-Castell. Yeah, I have been painting and it sort of won't come off. Yeah, Faber-Castell. I came across these in a shop and I paid 5, maybe 6 euros for it. These are 12 erasable colored pencils. They're from Faber-Castell's red line, which is their kids line, but I use the red line. The only thing is I don't produce art with these that I plan on hanging up on my walls, not unprotected anyways, or not any that I hope will be there in a couple of 3 or 10 years, as they are not light fast. But they're nice to use, they're easy to use, and I'm happy with the red line for sketching and stuff. And it was exactly for sketching I thought these would come in handy, because there's many ways of doing sketches, and the traditional way is to use a lead pencil. Now this is a mechanical pencil, but it goes for any lead pencil. The thing is that personally I find the graphite color somewhat annoying. I don't like the color of graphite. And also, if you're unlucky and the graphite haven't attached itself properly to the paper, I'm doing a lot of watercoloring, as you know, and if I have graphite lines and I go over this with watercolor, and especially if it's a lighter color, I got a water brush here. I don't know if we can do it. No, this is a fairly stable pencil line, so that's okay. But if I wanted to make like a pale yellow flower, yeah, it actually does move a bit. That gray would really ruin the color and the brightness of the yellow that I was planning on using. So the alternative to this is to pick a harder pencil like an H2 or an H4. They are more gray. There's less charcoal and less black in the harder pencils and more clay. But then they make grooves in the paper where the paint can collect, and then you get yeah, those lines stand out a lot more. And if you have been sketching directly on your paper like this, you don't want paint to highlight the lines you did. The lines are really just guidelines for where your paint should go. It shouldn't be the feature. It should really just be the help. You can erase them and stuff, but if you use yeah, that was a harder pencil. You can of course try and erase them, but have you ever tried the graphite that's smeared? I have. So I would probably like if I could just leave my pencil marks in there and just paint on. So let's see how these do. They are not water soluble or anything, and they could be so waxy that they just push the water away. I would say they could, if you're not pressing down too hard and not making too much of a layer, you could most likely use these for sketching out for colored pencils as well. If you put them down a lot, I have tried them and they feel kind of waxy. So yeah, they look like any regular hexagonal pencil, and there's an eraser at the end. I will take out another eraser because I'm mostly interested in if they work with that. So there's 12 colors. There's yeah, kind of a cold yellow, an orange, a red, looks like a vermilion type red, a couple of purples, a couple of greens, a couple of blues, a brown, and a black. So, so that's quite standard. It's kind of a light and a dark of the green and the blues of each of those. So, and 2 browns actually. So it's a very good color selection. It would fit most subjects I could think of. I could get a close enough approximation to what I would do. So, and the paper I'm using is Sander Waterford from St. Cuthbert's Mill. It had a little bit of an accident. I think we need to talk about to a little kiddie about that. That's stepped on something and walked across my paper. So this can be well used for a swatch paper. So let me try and swatch these out. This is probably not the way to do it because it was supposed to be a sketch pencil, but let's see. They feel quite soft and nice. It is easy to get them on the paper. I will not do more with the yellow because you guys can't see that. I'll go back to it later. Maybe. And here's an orange. And it's not a Kapow or orange, and the yellow is not a Kapow Pride either. But you can see them, and you can see, yeah, they feel okay to just make a loose sketch with. That is quite nice, very pleasant to use. And I don't want them to be bright because they just need to be that guideline there. Shouldn't be sitting there screaming, look at me, look at me, look at me. And yeah, there's paint there too. That is kind of bright though, this pink. It looks kind of muted on the paint, but it's not discreet when you put it on the paper. Now, if it will be discreet when you use them for paint in base layers for painting, this is another story. Depends on what you are using. And a darker red purple there. Got a dark green. So yeah, the colors are okay, and they go down okay. And for that price, I mean, come on, what's not to like? This is like a terracotta type of red color, or brown, red brown. Looks like a burned umber, or raw umber actually, brown. And the black is kind of a little grayish, but that is fine. That is probably the one I'm the least interested in using. And let's see the erasability kind of thing. And there's a little bit of color on my eraser, so I'm just gonna clean it up over there. So if anything stains, we won't blame the pencils on something that comes from the eraser. So let's just see. That came off. It doesn't go all the way away, but it's close enough. Now I was a little heavy-handed putting this down so you guys could see the color. The black and the brown erase quite well, but I would not ever use them that heavily. So let's try and take these sketch lines out. Yeah, they just go away completely. So I will definitely be considering using these for watercolor sketching. So let's make a just a simple flower shape here. So I won't do anything fancy because I don't want the video to be super long. You guys can't see it, but there's 4 petals in the middle. And I got a Albrecht Dürer, also from Faber-Castell, that's only appropriate, that I will use. It's a different yellow, it's a darker yellow, I think it's a Naples yellow, this one. Yes, Naples ochre. But it is definitely one of those colors that would not look good with some graphite dust mixed in with it. Just starting the color there, and let's see if there's any more water in this. We're very close to being empty. So it's actually my color pencil line that is the most visible here now. Now you could also sketch out just with one of your watercolor pencils before you start filling in the painting with color, but one of these cost almost the same as this entire set. I pay about €2.50 for this. Yeah, okay, so that's like half of these. So for just sketching and maybe erasing, it makes better sense to erase those than this. And yeah, I can't tell at all where I put those lines in. I covered it with the paint, and it doesn't seem to affect the water. Let me try over here. See if I can get it to cover that. Now, of course, because it's a darker color I sketched with, it will show through. But what I'm trying to see is if the wax from the Erasable push the water away, and it doesn't. So that is really good news. So I think the conclusion of this is they erase quite well. They erase better than any colored pencil I have, and they don't disrupt the painting. And yeah, they got a good price performance, I think. So absolutely, if you can get your hands on those, these are fine for sketching and preliminary work. I do not want to do a test of how they layer and stuff, because actually I did try that and they don't really do that well. But I don't really care about that, because that's not what I bought them for. I have plenty of other colored pencils that I can do this with. I even have the Redline Classic Faber-Castell colored pencils, and so I can use them for that kind of coloring. But these are good sketch pencils, and the erasability is good. So if you go oops, you can actually erase that. It's difficult with a regular colored pencils. So yeah, absolutely I good little setup sketch pencils. The only thing I know of that could be interesting to compare them to is the color erase from Prismacolor, and I believe they come in 24 colors. So if you're very hooked up on having lots of colors to choose from, that might be an idea. The color race is a little bit tricky to get here in Europe, so I'm happy to find this, and I don't even care if I wear my favorite pencil out before the rest, because I mean, come on, €5, it's not a lot of money. I nearly pay that for a marker, or I think I have paid that for some markers. So yeah, painting. It's a good thing I don't have a job interview tomorrow or the next day. So, anyways, that was my little review here, and thumbs up to Faber-Castell once again. I still think I have it's just never happened to me that they have disappointed me with anything. Everything Faber-Castell I ever touched was good. So no surprise really. So thank you for watching, and throw me a like and all that. Bye bye.